Are you feeling stuck in your trading journey despite all the knowledge and strategies that you've acquired? Or perhaps you're seeing those small, frustrating mistakes creeping in, even though you know better. Now, you're not alone. Here's the truth. Trading is much more than just about having a good strategy. It's about understanding your mind and how it shapes your decisions. So, how can you truly enhance your cognitive function to consistently achieve the results that you're wanting to achieve and strive for? That's exactly what we're diving in today. I'm here to show you how to sharpen your mental game, how to overcome the mental blocks that might be holding you back, and how you can develop a mindset that supports consistent and profitable trading. It's not just about having that strategy that works, it's about having the right mindset, as we know. Trading psychology is the foundation of success. So let's dive into the presentation now. Have you ever wondered why, despite your knowledge of the markets, you sometimes struggle to stay focused or make the right decisions? Or maybe you felt frustrated when emotions affect your judgment, causing you to act impulsively. This is a part of trading that often gets overlooked, but it can make and does make all the difference. So let's start by understanding exactly what cognitive function is and how it plays a role in your trading performance. So, at the core, cognitive function refers to the mental processes that allow you to acquire knowledge, make decisions, and solve problems. It's the way your brain processes information, helping you to think clearly, to solve and achieve those solutions, and stay focused even when the pressure's on. Now, in trading, these functions are absolutely vital because your ability to make these decisions quickly, the right decisions, determines your success, as you know. Cognitive function is made up of several key components, and these can directly influence your performance. And we're going to talk about this now. So let's break these down first of all. First, there's memory. Our memory allows us to retain valuable information. Next, we have attention, our ability to focus, or your ability to focus in trading when analyzing charts and recognizing opportunities is very important. Then there is reasoning. Reasoning is the ability to make logical connections and draw conclusions based on available information. In trading, this is your ability to make good decisions in that present time. Next, following that is problem solving. Every trade you make presents a challenge or can present a challenge to most traders. Now, the ability to quickly access and find solutions when things don't go according to plan is a critical cognitive function in trading. And finally, we have executive control. This is your ability to manage and regulate your cognitive processes, control your impulses, and to stay disciplined when faced with temptation or even uncertainty. But there's one more function that's often overlooked, but just as important: emotional regulation. When it comes to trading, managing emotions is absolutely vital. Emotions like fear and greed and frustration and overconfidence, excitement, they can really have a negative impact. Now, it's not about suppressing emotions, it's about how you manage emotions. So, why is enhancing cognitive function so important for your trading success or success? Because it directly impacts your ability to think clearly, to adapt to any conditions, and to stay resilient in challenges. So, when your cognitive functions are sharp, you're going to be really better equipped to stay focused and manage your emotions. You need the mental focus to adapt to, constant changes. The more you enhance these cognitive abilities, the more resilience you'll become, and it will help to grow your confidence too. Now, let's just briefly dive a little deeper into the science behind cognitive function so you can understand how these processes basically unfold in your brain. Now, our brain is an incredibly complex organ. And when you understand the structure and processes involved, this can really help you to be one step ahead and optimize your mental performance. So let's talk about the prefrontal cortex. Now, this plays a very big role in decision making. It's also around emotional regulation and emotional control too. It's the part of the brain that allows you to kind of think ahead, plan, even manage your behavior. So when it comes to traders, this means that the prefrontal cortex is responsible for the decisions you make, for the way that you control your emotions, and how you stick to your rules and plan. Now, another key player is the hippocampus. This is involved in memory formation and the consolidation of new information. It's how you process new information. Now, the hippocampus helps you retain very important information such as your strategy, even past trading experiences, and helps you to just build your overall knowledge base. So let's not forget about the neural networks in your brain. Now, I know this all sounds very technical, but once you get more of an understanding, it's going to help you to understand your brain better and how things function. The neural networks in your brain, these are the interconnected regions that work together to facilitate communication between sort of different areas of your brain, if you like. Now, the efficiency of these networks are highly advanced and they affect your ability to process information. It's how you make your decisions and they shift your focus as needed. But it's not just about the brain's structure. The neurotransmitters in your brain also play a very important role in cognitive function. So I'm sure you've all heard dopamine. Dopamine is linked to motivation and, more importantly, reward. So say, for instance, there's many traders that can jump in the market just because they want to feel that dopamine-like chemical. But it helps to stay focused and driven by the rewards that come with successful trades. Now, there's also serotonin, which regulates mood and it regulates emotional balance. High serotonin levels can help you to stay calm, confident, and clear-headed. Now, I'm not a medical doctor, but I do know a lot about the brain, the mind, and I've been studying this for very much well over a decade. So basically, all of the brain structures and chemicals work together to create the mental environment that determines how you function, or how we function, and how you function as a trader. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it means enhancing and improving your cognitive function. It's not just about boosting your brain power here. It's about understanding how your brain works, how to keep it sharp. Now, in part of this presentation, I'm going to share some practical techniques to help you optimize your cognitive function. By the way, one of the best ways is obviously sleep, reducing stress, and exercise and nutrition, but we'll talk more about that. So for now, let's take a moment to reflect. How well are you currently managing your cognitive function? Are there areas where you could sharpen your mental focus? Are you getting distracted easily? Now, these insights are going to help you guide you towards better cognitive function and improve focus. So have you ever caught yourself spiraling after a bad trade? I'm sure you have, feeling frustrated, even burnt out. You're not alone. It's very common. Every trader has experienced this at some point in their journey. And it's really easy to fall into that cycle of self-sabotage and being self-critical. But what if I told you that you have the power to rewire your brain, to enhance and improve your cognitive function, and to transform how you respond to challenges along your journey and along the way? This is exactly what we're going to explore. So you see, the path to consistent trading doesn't rely on learning strategies. It's about mastering your mindset. And one of the most powerful ways to improve your mental game is through techniques that enhance cognitive function. I'm going to walk you through some proven techniques that you can sharpen your mind, and it's going to help you to make better decisions along the way. So the first technique we're going to dive into is called cognitive reappraisal, or reframing. Now, you might be wondering exactly what that means. Cognitive reappraisal is the process of reframing a certain situation to how you want to perceive it. Rather than viewing a stressful or challenging situation as something negative or like a real personal failure, change it, reframe it, look at it at the other side, how you can learn, how you can grow, how you can become wiser from this experience. So for example, let's say that you've experienced a loss or missed out on an opportunity. Now, instead of letting yourself go into that cycle of negative thinking and blame. Instead, think this is a valuable piece of information for me. How can I improve? What can I do differently next time? This is where growth happens. So the shift in perspective not only reduces stress, but it's going to help you strengthen your emotional resilience. So when you consistently apply cognitive appraisal or reframing, you're going to begin to build a different mindset that's really going to help you to become more abundant, to see the positives instead of the negatives, and to be your biggest supporter. Now, let's move on to this strategy or practice or technique, visualization. Again, it's something that I've mentioned in many different presentations. It's powerful. I've been visualizing for many years. It's been a game changer for me. So, have you ever imagined yourself executing a trade perfectly? More importantly, the emotions, staying calm, composed. That's what we call as, mental rehearsal. It's a powerful way to enhance your cognitive function and to set you up for consistent success. Now, when you mentally visualize success, you're essentially strengthening the neuro pathways in your brain that are associated with achievement. Just like athletes do, they visualize a winning performance. So you can visualize yourself making confident, good decisions. For example, take a moment each day to just sit quietly. I want you to close your eyes and mentally rehearse sticking to your plan, following your process. More importantly, I want you to imagine yourself feeling and staying calm, focused. Bring in the emotions and feelings. Now, visualizing your success will not only help reinforce positive thinking, but it will also boost your confidence and your ability to stay focused no matter what is going on in the markets. Now, as you repeat this mental rehearsal, your brain begins to strengthen the pathways that support these actions, making it easier for you to replicate this when you're trading in your session. One of the best ways to improve your decision making under pressure is by simulating trading scenarios in an environment. This is similar to how athletes practice, certain skills over and over again to improve their performance. So when you start to review past trades, you will identify those areas of improvement when you journal. This is one of the biggest tools. You can start to look over and see, well, how far you've come, you've improved, but also where can you continue to improve? What can you do differently? So this process helps to make key decisions, making moments. Finally, let's explore the power of gratitude. In trading, it's easy to get caught up in what went wrong, always focusing on kind of like the losses, the setbacks, feeling frustrated. Let's turn this around. So there's an immense power in turning that focus inward and taking time to reflect and be grateful on what's working well. And this is outside of trading as well. It's not just in trading. Having that gratitude for your life, even the smallest things, is really going to shift your mindset to a sense of lack and not being there right now to what you've got in your life. It is so powerful. So when you journal or meditate, you can help reinforce positive patterns in your brain. And this will start to reduce cognitive distortions like all or nothing thinking or even catastrophizing. So take 5 minutes at the end of your day and write down what went well, even if it was really small. Just write it down. This simple practice is going to help shift your focus from the negative to the positive, reinforcing feelings of success, abundance, and gratitude. It's also going to help to retrain your brain to notice and appreciate the good rather than focusing on what didn't go as planned. Now, I promise you, over time, this is going to improve your emotional regulation. It's going to improve and increase your cognitive function, and it's going to reduce stress. So I highly recommend this. So let's recap the techniques that we've covered. We've covered cognitive reappraisal, or I'm going to say reframing, which helps you to reframe challenging situations. Second, visualization. This is such a powerful technique. Strongly recommend that you all practice visualization. So, and lastly is gratitude and reflection. It really helps to reinforce positive patterns in your brain. Now, I encourage you to start implementing at least one of these techniques into your life daily for the next 21 days and just see what happens. So, have you ever felt like your mind just isn't as sharp as it should be? Maybe you've experienced moments when the market is moving fast and despite your efforts, your decision making is off. Now, the truth is, your cognitive function is playing a huge role in how you perform as a trader. It's about sharpening your mind and creating the right mental environment to support your success here. So, I'm going to share some powerful lifestyle changes that you can do to improve your cognitive function so that you can boost your focus and improve your decision making. Now, these are all designed to give you an extra edge and to ensure you can stay sharp and perform at your best. Now, we're going to talk about physical health, we're going to talk about sleep. It may seem like a no-brainer, but many traders overlook the connection between physical health and mental performance. When we're physically well, our brain functions at its highest capacity. So we're going to talk now about sleep. Now, the first thing that you absolutely need to prioritize is sleep. If you're tired from the night before, you're not going to perform at your best as a trader, and that's a fact. You know, for me, sleep is a non-negotiable. It is one of the most important things in my life. So the first thing is to prioritize sleep. Now, you've probably heard it time and time again, but it's worth repeating. Good quality sleep is absolutely important for cognitive function. Now, during sleep, our brain consolidates memories and processes information from that day. It's absolutely amazing how it works. Now, this means that if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not only jeopardizing your ability to recall information, but you're also impairing your focus. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of good quality sleep and try and establish a regular sleep schedule if you can. Now, the more consistent you are with sleep, the more your brain's going to benefit. And you will start to notice really good improvements in your trading performance. Now, let's talk about nutrition. I'm not a qualified nutritionist. However, I do have a vast amount of experience, knowledge in nutrition. So I'm going to be very honest here. If you're a trader and you're eating lots of processed foods, takeaways, things like that, your cognitive function isn't going to be great. So nutrition is so important for good cognitive function. Now, what you put into your body directly impacts how well your brain functions. And let's not forget about gut health. You know, most diseases and illnesses come from bad gut health or from the gut. So again, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a qualified nutritionist, but I do have a lot of experience and knowledge in this. Now, when you eat a balanced diet rich in really good combination of protein, good fats, vitamins, good supplements, things like that, a good variety, and plus obviously good quality water, you're going to feel really good. You know, you're going to feel peak performance. Hydration is one of the most important things. So remember, if you're feeling dehydrated, have some water. So highly recommend that you look at your diet, look at what you're eating, what you're putting into your body, how's it making you feel. You know, think about how you're feeling after you eat gluten, things like that. Just start to have that mind-body connection. It's really going to help, I promise. So lastly, we're going to talk about physical activity or physical exercise. Now, regular exercise increases blood flow to the brain. It provides the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function at its best. And it makes us feel good. You know, when we go for a walk in nature, we feel good. It's very important for us to keep moving the body somehow. Even just 20 to 30 minutes of exercise a few times a week can make a significant difference in our physical health and our mental well-being. So it's important to, if you're not exercising regularly, I'm sure most of you are, if not all of you, then just schedule some time and think about the exercises that you want to implement into your week. Now, I want to talk about training your brain. Just like any muscle in the body, your brain needs exercise to stay sharp. Now, there are, fortunately, a variety of ways to keep your mind in tip-top shape. So one way is to use brain training apps and games. And they also say that even playing an instrument is really good for the neuro pathways in the brain. Now, these tools are specifically designed to improve key cognitive functions, things such as memory, focus, and like we said before, reasoning. So you can find apps that provide daily exercises to really challenge and stretch your brain and to keep it engaged. Social media is not always the best option. These are specific apps like puzzles and games that really help to improve cognitive function. Even like new hobbies, learn a new language can really help to increase brain cognitive function as well. Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, by the way, and try something new. It's good for us. It's good. It's how you grow and how you evolve. So, of course, meditation and mindfulness, when we silence the mind, it's really good for us because, we live in a very fast paced world. There's so much information, it can feel overwhelming. You have the control to reduce the amount that goes into your mind. And that includes things like social media, television, even the news. So, you have a choice whether you want to watch and read these things. So, the power of mindfulness and meditation. I've been meditating for almost 20 years, probably coming up to 20 years now. I don't do it daily anymore, but it has a really positive impact on my mental state and my life. So I have discussed these practices many, many times in the presentations, but please try even 7 days of meditation. Now, there's some really good apps out there that you can join, and there's many YouTube videos. Obviously, I've got a YouTube channel where you can listen to meditation as well. So just practice at least 7 days just to see how it improves your cognitive function, how perhaps it helps you to sleep better, to feel calmer, to make better decisions. But I encourage you, if you're not practicing mindfulness or meditation, to please start. So let's talk about stress management now, because a lot of traders can feel stressed and overwhelmed and burnt out at times. One of the best ways to reduce stress is through deep breathing exercises. Now, breathing techniques like box breathing or 4-7-8 breathing can help calm your nervous system. It will help you to bring you back into a state of balance. Yoga's an amazing practice as well. I've been practicing yoga for many, many years. Again, it's kind of connects you. It's all about the breath. So, when you practice breathing exercises, it can really help to reduce stress, anxiety, worries, even that negative mindset. It can help to calm down what we call the chimp mind. So, highly recommend that you find a breathwork practice that suits you. There's many good channels on YouTube. There's good apps on your phone. So just find one that suits your style and practice this daily, because it will really help to reduce stress. So before we wrap up and, come to the end of our presentation, we've looked at like lifestyle changes, different strategies. All of these things are going to help you. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to incorporate all of them and feel overwhelmed by this. But even changing one thing is going to improve your cognitive function. For me, I would think about your sleep and your diet and practicing one technique, whether it's breath work or meditation, to really help to reduce stress. Now, remember as well, it's about not feeling overwhelmed. One of the things is, we do live in a very busy world. It can be fast, but you have the choice and you have the control of how much information can come in. It can feel like overload sometimes, and that's not good for cognitive function. So just be mindful about how much time you're spending on social media, how much time you're watching the news and things like that, and asking yourself the question, is this making me feel good? So by implementing these strategies and having a healthier diet, looking after yourself, self-care, your cognitive function is going to be grateful, and you're going to see an improvement in this significantly. Now, as we come to the end of the presentation, I hope you found great value in this, because it's really important to have good cognitive function as a trader. If you're not looking after yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, you're not going to perform at your best in trading. And that's a fact. The most successful traders are the ones that prioritize their health, their well-being, their mindset, and their cognitive function. So, as I mentioned before, please be mindful about your nutrition, your sleep, what you're feeding your mind through social media and mainstream media, and so forth. And also, implementing techniques and strategies to help you going forward. If you have any questions, I'm always here. You can comment below, but I hope you have a great week. And please do start with one change from today, because you will start to see a positive difference. See you next time.